In the vast expanse of the galaxy, Earth was a name whispered with disdain and morbid curiosity. A death world, they called it, a planet so hostile that surviving on it was seen as a feat of madness rather than evolution. The Galactic Council, composed of species from temperate, harmonious worlds, looked down on humanity. They weren't refined strategists or brilliant innovators by galactic standards. No, humans were seen as chaotic, desperate survivors who thrived on conflict because they didn't know peace. Then came the Zathri Dominion, a brutal empire with a reputation for crushing resistance without mercy. Their fleets were vast, their technology centuries ahead of anything Earth could muster. When the Zathri demanded Earth's surrender, the Galactic Council didn't debate the outcome. Humanity, they believed, had no chance. The Council, wise and experienced, urged Earth to accept subjugation gracefully. But humans, Deathworlders by nature, didn't know how to bow. When told they couldn't win, they didn't despair. They laughed, a defiant, wild sound that echoed through history. From surviving mass extinctions to standing atop a world filled with apex predators, humanity had always thrived where others perished. Defeat wasn't a foregone conclusion, it was a challenge to overcome. So Earth's leaders gave the only answer they knew: come and try. The Galactic Council watched with detached pity, preparing to witness yet another species fall. They had seen it countless times before: planets reduced to ash, civilizations wiped from memory. Yet, as the Zathri fleets descended upon Earth's orbit, humanity didn't cower. They mobilized, repurposing everything they had into weapons of war. Civilian engineers became tacticians overnight. Factories once producing luxury goods churned out makeshift weapons. Earth didn't have the sleek starships of the galactic elite, but they had something far more dangerous: a will to fight, no matter the odds. Victory was improbable. Survival was unlikely. But when had that ever stopped Deathworlders? The Zathri's first assault was a textbook execution of overwhelming force. Their ships, sleek and bristling with weapons far beyond human comprehension, descended in perfect formation. Invisible to primitive human sensors, they struck hard and fast, obliterating Earth's orbital defense grid within minutes. Communication satellites disintegrated in bursts of flame, leaving Earth seemingly blind and exposed. The Galactic Council watched the live feed with grim satisfaction. Humanity had been warned. No species could withstand the full might of the Zathri Dominion. As the smoke cleared, it appeared the humans were already broken. The Council prepared to draft their official condolences, another tragic footnote in galactic history. But humanity wasn't finished. Not by a long shot. While the Zathri celebrated their easy victory in orbit, Earth's ground forces sprang into action. Communication blackouts didn't paralyze them, they adapted. Shortwave radios and hardwired systems, considered relics by galactic standards, became lifelines. Civilian engineers converted mining lasers into crude but effective anti-ship weapons. Weather satellites, stripped of their original purpose, were rigged with explosives and launched as makeshift guided missiles. The Zathri command dismissed these efforts as futile desperation. That arrogance cost them dearly. A squadron of Zathri fighters, tasked with reconnaissance over the Atlantic, vanished without warning. Another patrol near the Himalayas lost control of their systems, crashing into the mountains below. Human technicians had hacked into the Dominion's comm networks, scrambling their signals and sowing chaos. The Galactic Council analysts were baffled. How could a primitive species with no advanced cyber capabilities infiltrate Zathri systems? They failed to understand the essence of human warfare: adaptability, creativity, and an innate understanding of chaos. The turning point came when a single human ship, the Resolute, made a suicidal charge toward a Zathri battleship. Outgunned and outclassed, the crew didn't hesitate. They rammed the enemy vessel at full speed, breaching its hull and detonating their remaining payload inside. The explosion lit up the night sky, a defiant beacon visible from Earth's surface. The Galactic Council gasped in disbelief. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humanity was supposed to fall quietly, like every other species before them. But instead, they had drawn blood from an empire that had never known defeat. Back on Earth, celebrations were brief. The victory was symbolic, not strategic. The Zathari fleet remained a deadly threat. But humanity had proven one crucial point: they wouldn't go down without a fight. And when Deathworlders fought, even the impossible became possible. The Zathari responded with fury. Their warships descended lower into Earth's atmosphere, unleashing a relentless barrage on cities and infrastructure. Skyscrapers crumbled, entire regions were reduced to ash, and communication hubs were vaporized. The air was thick with smoke and the acrid scent of destruction. The Galactic Council watched in grim silence, believing the final chapter was unfolding. But humanity had already moved underground. As flames engulfed the surface, networks of bunkers, tunnels, and hidden command centers came alive. Military leaders coordinated defense strategies while civilians, engineers, and scientists worked tirelessly to repurpose whatever remained intact. The loss of advanced systems didn't cripple them, it forced innovation. Power grids were rerouted, turning abandoned factories into energy hubs. Civilian vehicles were outfitted with armor plating, becoming impromptu war machines. Farmers welded metal sheets onto tractors, transforming them into mobile fortresses. Everything had a purpose in this war for survival. Even as the Zathari intensified their assault, humanity struck back with precision and ingenuity. Small, coordinated teams infiltrated enemy positions, planting EMP devices crafted from salvaged components. One such mission proved decisive: a team of scientists, led by a quiet woman named Dr. Eleanor Voss, detonated an EMP pulse directly beneath a Zathari command vessel. The pulse was devastating. Entire systems went dark, rendering the ship defenseless. Human forces seized the opportunity, overwhelming the disoriented crew and securing vital technology for study. But the victory came at a cost. Dr. Voss and her team never made it out. Their sacrifice echoed through Earth's networks as a reminder of what it took to fight giants. Despite the losses, morale surged. For the first time, other galactic species began to take notice. Secret transmissions arrived from sympathetic factions, offering intelligence on Zathari tactics and weak points. The Galactic Council, once indifferent, now found themselves questioning their assumptions about these so-called Deathworlders. But Earth's greatest strength remained its people. In shelters and strongholds, civilians shared rations and stories, bolstering one another's resolve. There was no talk of surrender, only defiance. Engineers toiled day and night, reverse engineering captured Zathari technology. Medical personnel innovated treatments for injuries that had no precedent. Each act of survival was a quiet rebellion against extinction. Humanity's resilience was no longer just a product of their harsh homeworld, it was a testament to their indomitable spirit. The Zathari had underestimated their will, and that mistake was becoming increasingly costly. The Galactic Council, watching from afar, could no longer deny the truth. Humanity wasn't just surviving, they were turning the tide. The final battle was inevitable. The Zathari, frustrated and desperate to reassert their dominance, gathered their remaining forces for a decisive strike. Their flagship, a monstrous vessel bristling with weapons capable of leveling continents, loomed over Earth's battered surface. The Galactic Council, still watching from their distant seats of power, believed this would be humanity's last stand. Earth's forces were outnumbered and outgunned, but they weren't out of ideas. Engineers, scientists, and hackers had worked tirelessly, turning captured Zathari technology against its creators. Makeshift energy shields, reverse-engineered plasma cannons, and a network of hidden drones were all ready for deployment. Every human soldier, pilot, and technician knew the stakes. Victory was survival. Defeat meant annihilation. The Zathari launched their attack with overwhelming ferocity. Beams of searing energy scorched the sky, and human ships disintegrated under the relentless onslaught. Yet Earth's forces held their ground. Fighter pilots, maneuvering with reckless precision, wove through enemy formations, delivering pinpoint strikes to critical systems. Ground-based artillery, cobbled together from industrial machinery, unleashed volleys that forced the Zathari to recalibrate their tactics. But the key to victory lay not in brute force, but in subterfuge. A small team of human hackers, operating from a hidden bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, infiltrated the Zathari flagship systems. It was a desperate gambit if detected, they would be annihilated instantly. The lead hacker, a grizzled veteran named Ramirez, gritted his teeth as lines of alien code scrolled across his screen. Almost there, he muttered, sweat beading on his forehead. The Zathari AI defenses fought back viciously, but humans had always thrived in chaos. With a final keystroke, Ramirez broke through. "System override complete," he announced. The Zathari flagship's lights flickered, then went dark. Weapons powered down, targeting systems failed, and engines sputtered to a halt. Panic rippled through the Zathari fleet as their command vessel became a sitting duck. Earth's forces seized the moment. Coordinated strikes from all sides tore through the disoriented Zathari ships. Explosions lit up the sky as the once invincible fleet was dismantled piece by piece. The flagship, now crippled, was targeted for destruction. As the final blast consumed the vessel, a collective cheer erupted across Earth's remaining strongholds. Against all odds, humanity had won. The Deathworlders, who were never supposed to survive, had brought an empire to its knees. In the aftermath, the Galactic Council convened once more. Their tone was no longer dismissive but reverent. Humanity, they now understood, was not a species to be underestimated. Earth's leaders, battered but unbroken, stood proud. They had proven a universal truth: when you tell Deathworlders they can't win, they'll find a way to prove you wrong. And in doing so, they had reshaped the destiny of the galaxy.